must be doing something well. 70 years old this year, 1952. And we want to roll that into almost everything we do. One of the founders still actually works in this city, which is pretty cool. Most of you know the dad and son, Dick and Rick Taggart. Dick is on the founding documents of this chamber. Anyway, one of the, welcome, I think I've already said that. One of my good friends that when I first started coming here, this was still, it wasn't a dream, they were working. I had dust on my shoes, I was out and back. The truck you're gonna see inside was out back covered with dust, and he was telling me what his dream was. Well, his dream came true 4 years ago. And I want him to explain some of the history, level crossing, red feather, that type of thing. I've been to DABC or DBAC? How about PITB Association, Pain in the Butt Association? So anyway, without further ado, Mark Madura, come on up, man.
Thank you, Gary. Just want to welcome everyone as well. I want to thank the Chamber and Gary for having this event here. We really appreciate it. We're very happy to host you guys as well. As Gary said, my history has been in the whiskey business for quite a while, and I was had the luxury to start my own business and work for myself, and I had a passion towards beer, and just wanted to work for myself in hospitality. So Level Crossing was a dream that became a reality. The name Level Crossing comes from, it's an old railroad term where you meet a level crossing. For me, I grew up near one. It was the place where the family reunions happened, all the graduation parties, all the kind of just the family get-togethers, and it was always a place to meet before cell phones and things like that. We had to meet at the corner of First and Main at 4 p.m. Be there or be square kind of a thing. So I wanted a name that was genuine and authentic. So when I speak to people like a group like this, it comes off like that. And the other part of of our logo that Gary mentioned, the red feather. It was an old family tradition of mine, in my family, that my grandmother would leave an empty place setting at the dinner table, just in case a weary traveler, a neighbor, or a long-lost family member would stop. There was always a seat available for them at the dinner table. So that was important to me. I wanted to use that symbolism in our logo, so there's always a seat available for you at Level Crossing. And it's a good place to meet for family and friends. So that's the story behind it. It emulates tonight, seeing all these friendly faces, and we really appreciate you guys coming down. So I was instructed to introduce the director, is that her title? Director of the South Salt Lake Arts Council, Leslie Allen. Oh yeah, I was also instructed, if you guys need to order drinks, so we do have a waiter or server coming around. There's no need to go inside. They'll be in and around. Order pizzas too.
Hi, I'm Leslie Allen. I'm with the South Salt Lake Arts Council. Thank you all for coming. We're so happy to have these happy hours going again, and it's fun to see you all here. And thank you, Mark. Thank you, Gary. I just want to tell you a little update on what's happening at the Arts Council right now. As you know, we've been really trying to build and brand this downtown area that we call the Creative Industry Zone, which is why we invited all of you, and we have our artist spotlight tonight. We're going to be featuring different artists and businesses from the Creative Industry Zone throughout this happy hour series. The Arts Council is also really full-on heavy-duty planning right now into our 5th annual Mural Fest, and this is one. We did this one in 2019, and that was the 2nd year, and we got an artist of artist's caliber in our second year, and that was pretty cool. And then every year it just keeps growing and growing. And in 2020 we had artists from all over the world apply. And of course they couldn't come because of COVID, but we had some of them come back last year. We had a team from Mexico that painted on the taco restaurant down the street that's yet to be open. And this year we had over 200 artists apply. We had an artist from Hungary, an artist from Mexico, around the US, and then lots of local artists too. So we're so excited. We can't wait for you all to see the amazing art that will be created this May. So May 14th is the artist meet and greet. It will be around the Creative Industry Zone, mostly from Main Street down to 300 West, kind of along Haven Avenue, but watch for updates on that. So today we are spotlighting one of the Creative Industry Zone creative businesses called Salt City Builds. And I'm really excited for them to be here. I don't know, some of you guys know, but I have a Harley, so I do like to ride. But I know. I keep it very secret. But anyway, come on up, you guys, and you can. We have Rev, and I'm sorry, I don't know the rest of your names, but come on up, and we want to hear all about what you do. And then we can have a Q&A when they're done.
Hey everybody, I'm Seth, this is my brother Rev, and we own Salt City Builds. We've had it for, how long have we been doing it? Like 7 years? 8 years. 8.5 years. And we're just like right down the street, 2212 South in West Temple, and we kind of just like started this, like when we just like got into motorcycles and started our own little shop, and it kind of just took off organically. It was really cool to like do it here in this area. It's pretty sweet. We work on a lot of vintage motorcycles. We also work on newer stuff. We brought 2 bikes in. Both of those are like newer bikes, just to kind of show everybody that we do service newer bikes. But we also, I guess, on the more creative side of it, like we will do some customization. And I mean, a lot of times just working on vintage bikes can be a bit of a creative process because a lot of times you can't find parts for stuff. You gotta make parts, that kind of thing. But yeah, we got we started just the 2 of us in our little garage up the street. Now we've got 6 people working for us. And yeah, nice. Pretty. You know what?
I'm Rev. I'm Seth. We're brothers. I don't know if you already said that.
Look the exact same.
Yeah. So, like Seth said, we just kind of decided, more or less, just to start working on motorcycles 8 years ago. We've always been in this Tempest Park, business park, just down the street, yeah, it's been a crazy 8 years. It's been really cool to see this whole area grow. It was not like this 8 years ago. And so when this creative industry zone idea came up, we were all about it because we've always loved this area. And it's always been just a cool kind of jumping off spot for new businesses. I don't know if anyone remembers 8 years ago, but it was just like the industry zone, you know, where like it was just like smokestacks and like crazy, you know. Anyways, yeah, this has been super fun. Thanks for having us. Thanks for thinking we're artists. That was cool. It's worth mentioning, most of our business is through motorcycle service and repair. So we do build bikes occasionally. Seth's an excellent fabricator and can pretty much make anything you want. But yeah, most of what we do is just fix bikes. So started with older bikes that nobody else really wanted to work on. We bought bikes that were cheap and, you know, we were like, cool motorcycles, let's just get them, and they're cheap, but like everything was broken on them, and we didn't really know how to fix them, so we had to learn how to fix them. And then,
They also didn't look very cool.
yeah, you know, they're old and dorky, so we started customizing stuff. Anyways, yeah, we started with vintage. That was kind of our bread and butter. We know a lot about vintage bikes, but a lot of things are the same about motorcycles too. So we can pretty much work on anything. And yeah, so if you have a motorcycle, bring it down and come check out the shop.
We can do questions. Another thing I wanted to mention is a lot of people have like motorcycles just rotting away in their garage, and if you guys have one of those, you should let us know because we might buy it from you. So, there's that. But yeah, does anybody have any questions for us? Does anybody in here ride a motorcycle?
Okay, wait.
Yeah, what's up?
Sorry, everyone.
Apology
Greedy
accepted.
question.
What's up?
So I have a Ducati 1200S, Monster 1200S. And
Yeah.
I put a pipe on it and it runs like crap.
Yeah.
Can you tune that for me?
Did you get a power commander or something to change the map on
No.
it? Okay, so that's what you got to get first.
Okay.
And then you can tune it from that.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can probably find that tuner just by doing like a quick Google search. If not, yeah, call us and we could probably help you.
Okay.
Because a lot of those maps, you can just enter in what exhaust system you're put on it, and it'll automatically tune it.
Oh, cool.
So you don't have to like put it on a dyno.
Yeah, well, cool.
You're supposed to say, yes, we will fix that for you.
Does everybody understand everything I just said? Am I just speaking gibberish to everybody right now? Yeah, we can fix it. Bring it by.
Okay,
Remind me, you got business cards.
Oh yeah, we got business cards up here. You can also just like Google search us Salt City Builds.
Go take out the bike, take pictures, send them to me.
Sure.
What's your favorite part of your job?
My favorite part of my job?
your people.
People are great, but I mean, I think me personally, I'm just obsessed with motorcycles in like every way. So I like working on them. I like riding them. I especially like riding them.
Do you
So-
ever do Willie's?
Wheelies? No, we're right.
Damn.
Here, okay. What's your favorite part of the job?
My favorite part of the job, well, it's not. So Seth really is obsessed with motorcycles. I've met a lot of people in the motorcycle industry, and no one likes motorcycles as much as Seth. I can truly say that. It's like a problem. So I really, really like motorcycles, but Seth's crazy. I wanted to start this business mostly because I didn't really like having a boss. So the independence is probably my favorite part of my job. I love being around people, and motorcycles are cool. They always will be cool. So as far as just me personally, what I love about it is that we kind of just get to do what we want. And that's working on motorcycles. Yeah, what's
How's it
on?
going, guys? I'm Brent from Old West Cafe down the road. I guess my question is, so I got hit by a minivan on my motorcycle, which sucks. If you were wondering, it doesn't feel good. But getting back into motorcycles, what would you suggest for anybody in this room who wants to get in? What should they start? Because you have all these CCs. You can start at low CC, you can start at a high CC. I think what was mine, 1100? Something like that. But what would you suggest people who are entering back into it or entering into it to jump onto, so we can come get serviced by you and support people in our neighborhood?
That's a great question. I feel like a lot of people ask this kind of, they're like, hey, I want a motorcycle. I don't know where to start. I get that a lot. I think a great place to start, especially if you've never ridden a motorcycle before, is to take a class. There's riding classes that you can sign up for all over the place. They have instructors. They have a myriad of bikes that you can choose from, sit on, kind of ride, that you can actually get a feel for it instead of making decisions, buying stuff like that. And then they'll teach you how to ride it. So I recommend that for every single new rider. I honestly wish I did that too. Me and Seth just jumped on them and we wrecked like weekly. I was like bleeding all the time. It was terrible. Like it really was. So avoid that because it'll make you hate motorcycles. If you get hit by a minivan, I mean, like, yeah, it's like, all right.
I hate how.
Yeah, I
Hey,
can
we just drink to fuck bountiful.
Honda Grom. Honda Grom.
Sorry, it's all old cuss. I cuss a lot.
I don't think we can say that we hate Bountiful. I think we'll lose some of our customers. I don't hate Bountiful.
I have no problem with Bountiful.
Bountiful's great. Centerville. I don't know anybody that.
Farmington. It's too far.
So I kind of want to like go into your question a little bit more, and I think it's a very like there's no one answer for everybody because everybody's a different size. There's tons of different motorcycles, made for different people. But I would say get something that underwhelms you if you're like beginning or if you're like scared of motorcycles. Get on something that when you pull the throttle back, it doesn't scare the shit out of you. You know, it's like I don't know. I see a lot of people starting their first bike and they get like 1,000cc sport bike and they wreck like immediately. You know, and they're like motorcycles are terrible. They're just death traps and whatever. Like you gotta understand that's a race bike. Like that is like a track race bike. And yeah, you can buy one. Anyone can buy one, but it doesn't mean you should. So, like, if you truly want to know, like, what bike would be best for you, I think you need to talk to somebody who knows motorcycles well, and they can help you, like, decide on the right bike. Like, if you're trying to get back into it, I would probably say don't get the exact same bike that you had, you know? And, like, get an idea of how, like, what size you are and what kind of riding that you want to do. And then I could give you, like, some recommendations of what bike you could hop on that you'd be probably happy, you know, stoked on. That helps. Yeah?
Two questions. One self-serving. If you could have a mural on your building of anything, what would it be?
A mural? A mural of anything. Are we gonna get a mural?
No, I just. That's gonna be kind of scary.
We gotta prove it. I mean, I would think something along the lines of, well, I mean, I don't want to say like a motorcycle, but in that vein, like industrial, I guess. I don't know. I've seen a lot of cool ones around.
I got a question for you. Why'd you ask that question?
I love this mural behind you, and I think that there's really cool murals out there, and I always am curious. Leslie does a job of matching mural and with artists. I'm always curious what people would really like to see. And we're talking about art.
Whoever's doing the art around here is doing a great job. I just really do.
What was the second question?
If you could ride anywhere in the world, where would you go ride your motorcycle?
Everywhere.
Not the ocean. That's it. Almost. There's just so many places.
You know, there's Vietnam. I've heard is awesome for motorcycle riding.
I want to go there.
Yeah, Vietnam.
Vietnam is like it's a lot of like off-road riding, but it looks beautiful. That's probably where if you said go somewhere right now and ride, I'd pick Vietnam.
I would probably pick. There's a highway in Pakistan called the Karakoram. It's all K's. If you haven't, you should look it up. If you haven't seen it, it's crazy. I'd probably go there. Just right now.
I don't have a motorcycle. I'll have a motorcycle question.
I think we're done.
Everybody okay with that?
How many of you have never been in here before? Okay, you're going to come back, aren't you? We love introducing businesses to the community. That's what we're all about. And I don't ride a motorcycle, but I'll still go down and talk to these two guys because they are fun gentlemen. Mosaic Bakery, Teresa and her partner have been doing this for I guess a couple of years. So I think there might be some baklava left. There's some information on our company. You order stuff online, and they will deliver, or they take it to a cafe I can't remember the name of. The information, unbelievable baklava. So Sharon, Leslie, any more things you want to say? You want to mention these bike lights? Anybody? Bike lights with the logo. I used them for another reason. I got in trouble. Kind of my Super Bowl ring. You can imagine what I did. Anyway, these are, if you ride a bike, probably not a motorcycle, you got your own light. Be sure to take one of these. We're doing these every month now. We did about 5 last year. There are 4 brewers and 3 distillers in the city of South Salt Lake. So these are our favorite haunts to visit. And the cool thing the city's done is add a small business like Salt City Builds to come share what they do. Any comments?
No, let's party!
Drink! Okay, thanks. Hey, thanks again, Mark.